Phony, and totally weird. Gavin's hands. It's time for Gavin's hands.
The notion of agency, that we're not bystanders in the world. It's decisions, not conditions, that determine our fate and future. And that fundamental notion of agency, I think, is important more broadly. And I think that goes to some of the issues around, victimization. And I see a lot of that, respectively, on the right, increasingly, even with Trump often approaching things from that sort of mind.
Gavin Newsom walks in like California's own James Bond. Slick, confident, and armed with enough hair gel to fight a hurricane. He moves like he's untouchable, soaking in the spotlight as if it was made for him. Then comes Tyrus, a mountain of muscle with the force of a linebacker and the sting of a truth bomb. When Tyrus speaks, even the cameras hesitate. This isn't mild criticism. It's a roast sharp enough to draw blood, and things are about to blow wide open.
The myriad of issues. I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks.
California gleams like the perfect postcard. Sun, surf, and shimmering luxury. Mornings start with ocean waves. Nights glitter with rooftop lights and kale smoothies in hand, but peel back the gloss and the fantasy twists fast. The so-called Golden State starts to look like a wild documentary spiraling out of control. Like, before we move on, don't forget to hit subscribe button.
Go back and watch the tape.
Yes!
He literally goes, I want some of this, then you do some of this, and I'll do some of that back to you, and then we'll do this, and then I'll pay you, and then we'll do it again.
True.
And then she kept saying, no. Okay, how about this? You do this one first, then we do this one, then we give a little back and forth.
Streets now resemble scenes from Mad Max. Taxes hit like heavy punches. People flee like sprinters at the starting gun. In the center of the storm stands Gavin Newsom. Hair perfect, smile flawless, awareness zero. As chaos spreads, he stands untouched, posing as if the collapse is just background for his next photo shoot. He gives speeches like a Hollywood lead, dramatic pauses, sweeping gestures, and that grin saying, "Trust me." But here's the twist. While Newsom plays California's hero, the show's turned into a blooper reel. Homelessness soars.
You can't, it's not his words when he speaks.
Yeah.
You have to watch him closely. And some genius decided not to film him any lower than the shoulder.
Yes, did you? Yes.
So what did he do?
You couldn't see the hands.
No, but he sent Morse code.
Businesses run like it's an evacuation drill, and everyday people wonder why they're paying Beverly Hills prices to live in what feels like Gotham City reborn. Then Tyrus steps up, and that's when the real show begins. No sugarcoating, no rehearsed lines, just raw, unfiltered truth hitting like a knockout punch. Where Newsom glides in polished perfection, Tyrus storms in with grit, fire.
I'll be in the car.
Yes, I think you've done enough this evening. You can take the rest of the week off.
Thank you.
Charlie,
We've all been there, right?
Yes, we have. Yeah, it's noisy in this
Sorry,
city.
every time I look, I just see him going. I'm sorry.
You know, another option it could be, because he's doing the whole rebrand with the podcast and he's trying to...
And the kind of confidence that doesn't need cameras to feel powerful. Newsom polishes his speeches until they sparkle. Tyrus speaks straight from the gut. Newsom sells dreams. Tyrus shatters illusions. Picture it. Newsom strutting under the bright lights, chest out, hair gleaming like it has its own budget, bragging about California's golden progress. But out beyond those cameras, San Francisco and Los Angeles, once glittering jewels of America, now resemble open-air experiments in chaos and misery. Tyrus doesn't hide behind charm or clever words. He slices straight through the act, exposing the cracks beneath the shine. The streets tell a story the headlines refuse to print. Tense, crime, despair, wrapped in sunshine filters. He looks straight at it all and asks the question everyone else is afraid to.
Or he's negotiating with the deaf prostitute.
Yeah.
Let's just stick with that.
Yeah.
More likely.
Yeah.
Maybe you can fix California while you stop by. 2 shows, you should be able to do that.
Hey, you know what? Real funny. So the other night, I got like 3 weeks ago. Time flies when you work. I get a text at 2:00 in the morning from the president who says, "Hey, bro, I just filled California up with water. governor's pissed and sent pictures, LOL posts. Who doesn't love this president?
How can a place once called paradise now look like a live-action zombie flick? Newsom promised utopia, but what he delivered feels like The Walking Dead with better lighting. And while Newsom poses for his next magazine spread, Tyrus stands in the wreckage telling the truth, and it hits harder than any speech ever could. Let's talk business. Once upon a time, California wasn't just a state. It was the dream, the crown jewel of innovation. Silicon Valley, Hollywood, Napa Valley, names that screamed success. The air itself buzzed with ambition, but under Newsom's rule, that shine is fading fast. Companies are packing up, leaving behind empty offices and broken promises. Headquarters vanish overnight, jobs disappear like smoke. And where are they going? Texas, Florida, even Nevada. Imagine choosing desert heat and humidity over California's perfect weather.
Back and watch it. Look at the blinking. Blink, look. Meet me at the house. Like, he's blinking. He's sending. I'm getting there. Hey, just so you know, I'm not wearing pants.
Ew.
And then, look, he's blinking. And then eventually, the camera guy realizing that he's signaling him, so he gets appalled, leans back, camera comes down, and then we're back to this. I'll do this for you. You do this for me a little. So he's saying whatever he's going to say. There it is. See? They couldn't hold him back. He's like, I'm not on film. Oh, I'm not. Nope.
Just to escape its taxes and red tape. That says everything. Tyrus doesn't let that slide. He looks at the mass exodus and says exactly what everyone's been whispering. If people are running from paradise, maybe it's not paradise anymore. His words cut through the political fluff like a blade. And who can forget the great lockdown hypocrisy? While ordinary Californians rationed toilet paper, trimmed their own hair, and mourned through screens, Newsom wined and dined with lobbyists under chandeliers. While the people struggled, he played the part of a Hollywood socialite, a governor turned Gatsby, sipping vintage wine while the rest of the state went dark. Tyrus calls it like he sees it, because in a world where leaders act like celebrities, someone has to remind them that California doesn't need another star.
Well, speaking of full of I'm sorry, I'm confused. He's still governor, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he could do something about it. That's the most irritating thing, is like, why did anyone say with a follow-up where he's like, the homeless situation is ridiculous? Follow-up question, aren't you governor?
Yeah.
Like, that's the difference. That's the difference between the radical left and President Trump. He'll talk about something as it's...
It needs a leader. That dinner became the perfect symbol of his leadership, a shining snapshot of hypocrisy frozen in time. Rules for the people, perks for the king. The image alone could hang in a museum labeled, "Do as I say, not as I do." Tyrus doesn't just mention it, he brings it to life. His words paint the scene so vividly, you can practically hear the clinking of silverware and the faint laughter echoing through the candlelight. While families sat in small apartments eating reheated pizza and worn sweatpants, Newsom raised a crystal glass, smiling beneath golden chandeliers, proclaiming, "We're all in this together." The irony was cinematic. Tyrus tears into that moment like a director exposing the bloopers behind the glamour. He doesn't need statistics or political slogans.
He's playing with us. Meet me at my house. You get mine. I get yours. It'll work out.
Paul, are they capable of soul searching? It feels like the party itself has no soul.
Yeah, I know, they have no soul. You know, it's a really interesting statement if you just kind of, you can break it in two. He spends the whole first part of that saying, we lost because this. Essentially what he says is, folks, we were on the wrong side of every issue last.
He has reality on his side. He talks about rising homelessness, streets drowning in crime, gas prices that punish the working class, and neighborhoods that used to feel like dreams now resembling survival zones. California was supposed to be a promise. Now it feels like a sentence. Beautiful, broken, and burdened. Tyrus says what everyone's thinking, but no one dares to voice. He turns frustration into fire, outrage into humor, and truth into a weapon. That's why people listen, because when Tyrus speaks, he's not spinning tales. He's describing life as it really is, with all its raw edges exposed. The fallout was nothing short of explosive.
He's going to go up and say, listen, I'm going to sign an executive order to stop homelessness, and here's how we're going to do it. Bam, 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 done. The border, done. 5 days later, 99%, no one's crossed. They're standing at the border like, you go. No, that you go. Like, no one wants to.
On one side, ordinary Californians nodded along, a mix of relief and vindication washing over them. Finally, someone had said out loud what they'd been whispering for years. On the other side, the defenders rushed in, with critics twisting themselves into knots to excuse, explain, or distract. The chaos wasn't just political, it was cinematic. But the irony, it couldn't be scripted better. When a man known for body slams and one-liners makes more sense than the governor of America's largest state, that says everything. Tyrus doesn't hide behind data sheets or buzzwords. He doesn't need a PR team to make his point. He just looks at the wreckage and tells it straight. This isn't working. Newsom keeps selling California as the shining model of progress. Glossy speeches, bright lights, and endless photo ops.
Gavin, I know him very well. He's incompetent. He's a nice guy, looks good. Hi, everybody. How you doing? He's got some strange hand action going. I don't know what the hell his problem is. It's a little weird, to be honest. There's a little something shaky going on there.
I came into that recall campaign still arguing that all politics is local. I still had a romantic notion of that. I intellectualized that a lot of our politics and the discourse was national. I didn't fully appreciate how nationalized our politics have become. In so many ways, that shape-shifted a lot of what we're doing and who I am today. But this last year, these last 6-7 months, this is something altogether different.
But step just one block off Rodeo Drive and the illusion starts to crumble. The streets tell a different story. The runways are cracked, the lights flicker, and the golden future looks like it's being held together with duct tape and denial. Tyrus doesn't need to raise his voice. His words echo louder because they're real. He's the contrast to Newsom's performance. Less polish, more truth. And in a state that once promised dreams, maybe honesty is the only thing left that still feels golden. Tyrus cuts through California's glossy illusion like a blade through silk. He's not dazzled by drone shots or glossy travel ads showing endless beaches and golden skies. He looks deeper into the hands.
Yeah, his hands are just weird though, Tyrus. They're always doing funky things.
Yeah, I thought it had something to do with the California budget cuts and stuff, since they didn't have a hearing impaired transitioner anymore. I'm not paying money for that. I'll do it myself.
The parts no one wants to show. Under every overpass, tents stretch for blocks like a second city. Boarded up storefronts line once thriving streets, buried under red tape and forgotten promises. Families whisper about rent hikes, weighing a choice no one should face. Pay the bills or pitch a tent and call it camping with benefits. Tyrus doesn't sugarcoat it. He exposes it. His voice slices through the noise, raw and unapologetic. If dysfunction were a sport, he says with a smirk, California would be the undefeated champion. And he's not wrong. The state that once symbolized innovation now looks like a cautionary tale. Beauty wrapped around chaos. Then he zeroes in on the crown jewel of hypocrisy, Gavin Newsom himself. Tyrus doesn't attack for the sake of spectacle. He holds up a mirror. It's one thing to lead through crisis and admit failure.
So, a little bit of bubble.
Yeah.
Nice. Could you imagine if you were the sign person for the TV going?
No, he reminds me there of, remember
It's another to act invincible while sneaking off to luxury dinners as ordinary people are lectured to stay home. That's what makes Tyrus dangerous to the polished elite. He doesn't fear the spotlight because he doesn't need it. He turns it around, shining it where it hurts most. And under that light, the California dream starts to look less like paradise and more like a perfectly staged illusion falling apart in real time. That infamous dinner, the one where Newsom cozied up with lobbyists in a Michelin star restaurant, wasn't just a scandal, it was a statement, a masterclass in arrogance. While millions of Californians were told to cancel weddings, funerals, even Thanksgiving with their families, the governor enjoyed truffle pasta under warm chandeliers, surrounded by laughter and luxury. It wasn't leadership, it was theater, and the audience was furious.
I was in the White House, this is one of the first things I would do. Clean up your streets. Instead of sending our military men and women out to other places to make other countries safe, make our streets safe. How is this an argument? If you don't like it, what's not to like? Other than that you have to tip your hat to the orange devil. That's the problem. Then you know what? Find a way, make it your own. No, you will not bring in 1,500 National Guards. We will only allow 1,200. And then call.
Tyrus never lets that moment fade. He brings it back again and again like Exhibit A in the trial of hypocrisy. Rules for thee, not for me. The phrase became a rallying cry because it was true. People remember being fined for gathering with friends while their own governor broke the very laws he enforced. That memory doesn't fade. It festers. Tyrus doesn't dramatize the event. He paints it vividly. You can almost see it. The glimmer of crystal glasses, the hush of velvet seating, the quiet hum of privilege filling the air. While ordinary families sat at kitchen tables eating leftovers and trying to stay hopeful, Newsom dined like a monarch untouched by his own decrees. And that's the moment California's illusion cracked. It wasn't about food or rules. It was about respect, or rather the lack of it. That dinner proved what Tyrus had been saying all along. If you like this video, then subscribe.